Hello friends, thank you so much for stopping by again. Today I'm building two extraordinary, amazing, beautiful breakfast and bed trays. Lass uns anfangen. I started off with these two beautiful pieces of walnut. The first step is to chop the lumber into the right sized pieces. To do so, I'm using my Bosch miter saw. The pieces I'm cutting right now are for the surface of the trays. I want the surface of the trays to be about 55 centimeter by 32 centimeter. Therefore, I needed to cut 5 equal length pieces, and one of these pieces I had to rip in half later. One of the sides of the walnut lumber was not straight. Here I'm using the table saw to clean up the edges to make it straight. Next up, I'm ripping one of the boards in half. Using 2.5 boards for each of the tray surfaces gives me 32 centimeter width for each piece. Drive with the pieces to achieve the best passable pattern. Next up is the glue up. Glue together 2.5 boards. Apply the glue, spread the glue, tighten the clamps, and let the boards dry overnight. Tighten the clamps just enough to not bend the wood. While the boards dry, I'm starting with cutting the rest of the pieces for the build. Here I'm cutting the 45-degree miter cuts for the frame of the trays. For the frame, I want a height of 5 centimeters. Therefore, I will cut 5 centimeter wide strips. For the two tables, I need 4 shorter pieces of about 36 centimeter length and 4 longer pieces of about 59 centimeter length. For the legs and connector pieces for the legs, I went with a 2.5 centimeter width. I need 8 legs with 23 centimeter length, and I need 4 connector pieces for the legs of about 27 centimeter length. The end of the legs are cut to a 15-degree angle. To be able to fold out the legs smoothly, you will need to round over the top of the legs. I sanded one to a round shape and then traced the pattern onto the other legs. It is much easier to follow a pattern than to try to freeform all of the pieces to equal sizes. Surprisingly, this process was a lot of fun. Look how quick it goes. And done. Once the glue has dried for the surface pieces, run the board through the planer to clean up the surfaces. And now it's time for my least favorite part, sanding. I started at 180 grit and went all the way up to 600. To make it a little bit more fun, I incorporated a little bit of dancing. If you believe this can create a safety hazard, then don't try it at home. And now it's time for the grain razor. Spray on some water, let it dry, and sand off any grain that raised up. This makes the piece extra smooth, and it will stay smooth for a long time. Use Starbond glue to fill any holes and crack in the wood. Now you can use a regular drill for this, but I have one of those fancy drill presses. Plus, apparently I wanted to show off my biceps. All we have to do is to drill a hole in the top of the legs to attach the legs to the frame of the tray. All the pieces are pre-cut now and you can start to assemble the trays. However, if you have watched my previous videos, I like to make all of my builds unique, and therefore I will use my CNC machine to engrave 2 different patterns onto the trays. I will make the patterns available on my website to download for free, and I will add a link in the description below. So let's start by securing the wood tray onto the CNC machine bed. This one is ready to go. Let's initialize the machine and after set the Z-axis by using the touch probe. Let the cutting begin. My CNC machine has finished the pattern. I have the leaf pattern and the honeycomb pattern. Next up is the resin pour. Protection, protection. Let's wear some gloves. The easiest way I found to fill in the pattern with resin is to use a syringe. Mix the resin. Like always, I'm using Total Boat resin. The link and the discount code are in the description below. This resin has a 1-to-1 ratio. And you know what's next. Resin dance! For the leaf pattern, I'm using green mica powder. Look how beautiful the metallic comes through. Pour the resin into the syringe. Follow the pattern on the wood and fill in the crevices with the resin. For the honeycomb pattern, I'm using a mixture between green and blue. Look how amazing this color came out to be. This is definitely going to be one of my new favorites. Fill in the syringe again. You can use the same syringe, just make sure you squeezed out all of the old resin before use. Follow the pattern and squeeze the syringe gently. Let the resin fully cure. Then it's time for a final round of sanding. To avoid squirrel marks, take a cloth and take off any dust off the surface while sanding. For the frame, I want grooves in the side to be able to easily pick up the tray. I'm using my Cobalt router table for this project. If you're interested in this machine, I actually made a review a while back you can watch. To assemble the breakfast tray, I'm using glue and crack holes. I drilled holes into the connector pieces that connect the legs together, and I drilled 10 holes in each of the tray surfaces to attach it to the frame. Use screw and glue to build the leg pieces and attach it to the frame of the surface. I use the clamp to hold the piece in place while I'm screwing in the screw. Follow those same steps for the other pieces. This is how the legs should look like once they're fully assembled. Round on the top and on the bottom they have a 15-degree angle. Drill 4 holes into the frame. These are the holes for the hardware to attach the legs. Before attaching the legs, use a router to round over the edges. After all, this will be a piece that will end up in bed, so no sharp edges. I went to Home Depot to get some screws to attach the legs with. feed the screws through the holes and attach the caps to the other side. That's it. The breakfast and bed trays are built and are ready for the oil. This is by far my most favorite step in the building process, since the oil brings out the full beauty of the wood. For this step, I'm using liquid hydration. It deeply penetrates the wood and keeps its beauty for many years to come. I will use latex gloves to generously spread the oil all over the wooden surfaces. I will give the wood overnight to soak in as much oil as it needs. After, I will wipe off all the excess with a clean cloth. To add an extra layer of protection, I will use Moose Magoo's wood butter. This product is enriched with vitamin E and gives the wood a satin shine and a super smooth finish. Like always, the links for the products are in the description below. Let's start by applying the oil. You will love to see the results. Use some gloves, just so you don't get oily hands. Then use the hydration oil and spread it all over the surfaces. Now that's a fun part. Just use your hands and rub in the oil all over. Use the oil very generously. Once you've finished oiling the tray with the leaf pattern, it's time to do the same for the honeycomb tray. Give the trays overnight to soak in all the oil they want. It's the next morning now, and you can see the color change of the wood. It turned out beautifully. Now it's time to apply a layer of Moose Magoo's. Take a small amount, put it on a clean cloth, and rub it onto the board. Let it dry for 3 to 4 hours or better overnight. And then take another clean cloth and buff it. Moose Magoo's wood butter added a beautiful satin shine to the wood. It's absolutely gorgeous. See for yourself how gorgeous the light reflects off the surface. In addition, it added a second protective layer. And we are fertig! Now it's time to enjoy the breakfast in bed tray. Like always, thank you so much for watching my videos. It means the world to me. If you like my videos, please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you like about my projects or what you dislike, or let me know what you'd like me to build. See you next time. Tschüss!